You big dummy.
You're gonna forget it. Oh, yeah. You're not
It's
gonna
almost
remember.
November.
Oh, so I do want to tell you guys about what happened to me earlier today.
What happened?
What
So
happened?
Jess gets a call,
Remember.
and it's from Geek Squad saying that your subscription is up and you owe them $400.
Should have remembered.
So I answered it, and I told the guy, I was like, I really don't remember doing this. He was like, it was probably a long time ago, and I was like, okay. And he's like, are you near a Mac or computer? I was like, yeah, I'm standing in front of my computer. And he was like, okay, can you turn it on? I was like, yeah, it's got Windows 98, so it's gonna take a while. And I had this guy on the phone for like 10 minutes before he got mad and hung up because I was like, yeah, it's still starting. How's your day going? He wouldn't. He wouldn't.
You gotta give her a minute.
Yeah. And then I went on my phone and played a Windows startup sound, and I was like, oh, there it is. Nope, wait. And he's like, what are you staring at? I was like, the computer screen. And he's like, no, what do you see? And I was like, I think it's called a desktop.
It's a little spinny circle saying loading.
Yo, dude, you should have put the dial-up sound in the background.
Oh yeah, do you want me to get on the internet?
Mom, get off the phone.
I'm pretty sure, like, if we're on the phone, I can't connect to the dial-up because the whole us talking thing, you know. Oof. Jeez, you got, and then just trash Frontier the whole time.
Is dial-up still a thing?
No. Okay. Well, actually, yeah, in some places it is, and it's actually very common internationally still.
I don't know about that.
No, it is.
Yeah. Third world countries, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but think about how many, like how many third world countries are out there. I mean, shoot, even in England, they are barely getting up to like 60 megs per second.
Well,
yeah. Us in America, though.
Us in America, we're all about speed.
We're even behind Japan on speed. So, yeah, they need them anime titties in crisp, clear.
I can hear your baby in the background, and it sounds like a baby goat.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's like every time that you talk, it opens up the audio. It picks up your behind audio, so it's funny. Like every time you said a word, it would be like crisp.
Sorry, boys. Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Babies
be crying.
I don't hear them anymore.
Yeah, I think you're good now. We don't hear it either.
Yeah, you're good.
Good. I guess the old dungeon took care of them.
The old dungeon.
The old dungeon. That's my basement.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's Larry's basement. The old chain and ball. That's what we call it.
Isn't it?
Took care of them.
Oh. She heard you. You're dead. DED.
His camera goes black.
Have you ever seen that scary movie called VHS?
Yeah.
No.
It's that. Yeah. Brian knows.
I watched that because I only get to watch scary movies like once a year, so I try to find like cool ones for like I research for about a week because my wife doesn't like scary movies. So I love them. But again, I don't have a lot of time to do things that I like to do. So like watching movies that like only I want to watch, I have to make special time that's not like my special game time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I usually don't get I'm like fuck it, I won't watch scary movies. I'll just play games. But anyways, in Halloween though, the tradition is for everybody to come over. We watch scary movies, eat candy. So I pick out like 3 or 4 every year that we like marathon.
Actually, you know what? I've been part of that with you. You remember that one time where I came over and we watched The Nun and the Annabelle movie. Actually, there's even more of those out now. like
Mhm.
since we did that, because we did that pre-pandemic. It's been that long, and so we need to get together and watch them. So like I believe that's part of the Conjuring series, and there is like 8 films out now
Yeah,
total,
it's crazy. There's a
and I
great
don't even think that's including Annabelle.
There's a Conjuring, Conjuring 2, The Nun.
and then a shit ton of the Annabelle ones.
There's a
Like
Well,
shit,
most
yeah,
never
like
Annabelle ones.
I think there's 3 or 4 Annabelle movies now, but the actual Conjuring goes up to the Keys, which is I think 4, and then there's a 5th one that either came out or is about to come out.
was the key. I thought the Keys was
I think
Insidious.
you're thinking about the other one, yeah, Insidious, because Insidious was really good around the same time that Conjuring came out too.
I don't know.
Now, no, I am thinking about the Nun and Annabelle and the Conjuring, but
Those are all the same
maybe
universe.
the titling I'm mixing up with Insidious. But
Yeah,
no, I
because-
definitely like the Conjuring series better.
Yeah, boy.
But
One movie that fucked me up around that same time, and my wife refuses to watch it, is Sinister.
Insidious.
Sinister.
I didn't really think it was scary.
It fucked me up. Like the video.
No, Insidious is the one with the red demon, right?
Yeah, Darth Maul.
Dude, that's the one that like it fucks Sam up because that's around that's one of the first. It was one of the first scary movies that I watched with her, so she probably that's one of the reasons she probably doesn't watch it anymore with me. Because like when that motherfucker's like up in the corner and we're here in her dark apartment just by ourselves, and that motherfucker like pops up, we're like, oh fuck.
No, the
Yeah,
Sinister part where the kid mows over the family just it gets me.
I just found it too predictable. The Sinister series, I tried to watch the second one because sometimes
Second
the
one was
sequels
fucky too.
get better, but in that case, Sinister just was up for me. But again, I watch much more raunchy things than that. So
it's not like I don't like most movies nowadays because they tend to be gory just for the sake of it.
Yep.
But I feel like Sinister had a good story and it was like enough to let your imagination do the rest. But me and my wife recently watched the first 2 Friday the 13th movies. And
I mean,
Like
I
the
was about to say, like, gory for the sake of gory isn't got anything on like the '80s movies.
Well, there was no fucking story in those movies. Like
It really wasn't.
No, just fucking and titties.
Yeah, it was like seriously the first one, Friday the 13th #1, had the whole story of all of the fucking movies. It was like the
But it doesn't give you any story till the end.
Yeah, but
then it doesn't make any sense because the girl that lives last, she knocks out Jason Voorhees' mom, Mrs. Voorhees. I don't know her first name. I feel like it's Virginia.
It's Mama Voorhees.
Mama Voorhees.
Yeah, it's Mama.
Mima.
Oh, Mima.
But she knocks her out like 10 times and then just runs away every time she knocks her out. And then after she chops her head off, the dumb bitch hops in a canoe and just falls asleep in the middle of a lake until morning. Then the cops show up, and then that's when Jason pops out and drags her under.
Yep. Yeah, because I mean it makes sense because that's the one thing Jason is afraid of is water. So
yeah,
but
so
he jumps out like a fucking dolphin.
Yeah, I mean except for the first movie where he's like in the lake. So
yeah,
you know what are you gonna do?
I mean, so in the second one, that's kind of how he like comes up. He was like chained at the bottom of the lake or something like that.
No, they don't really go over like he's living in the woods in the second one.
He's just there.
I don't know. They get better. They get better.
But part 7 has my favorite kill of all time. It's the one where he bags the bitch up in a sleeping bag and just beats her against a tree.
Jason X. Jason X, man. That was Jason X in the simulator.
It's
because it's funny as shit because they're like
it's in part 7 and it's also in Jason X. Jason X got it from part 7. Trust me on this.
Maybe,
look it up.
But Jason X one is better anyways because the thing about Jason X that makes it better is because Like the whole
Titties.
setup, well,
Titties.
I mean, sure, but like the whole setup was Jason walks into this room and this person's like
yeah.
controlling it. He's controlling it to like make it so he distracts Jason.
Yeah, it's
And
these two women.
Hey man, just titties out. Hey man, you want some booze or weed?
We
Yeah,
love
and, like-
premarital sex.
and then they cut it, and then the scene cuts
Yeah.
as he's just like there, and he's like, it looks like he's about to throw down his like scythe or his machete. It looks like he's gonna throw it down, and like it's like Jason's fucking getting it, and then it like comes back, and he's just like whack,
Yeah.
whack.
I love it.
I don't know.
Funny as shit.
I would just like for one of these times them to just fucking troll the whole gosh darn and just make it to where he is like just getting it with one of these gals.
Just
because
fucking around.
Yeah, because like I think it would just be hilarious, like a whole like a jokey change of script. Because like for me, if there was a time to do it, it was Jason X, because he like had that nanotechnology in the future, like fully repair his skin and make him better. So I was like, he probably has like a huge nano dick now, and he ready to
nano dick.
He ready to just go, you know.
Nano dick, both small and big at the same time.
That's right.
I would love to see a movie where you get this iconic killer like Jason or Freddy or something like that, and then they try to kill someone and that person ends up scaring them. Like Freddy jumps into someone's dreams and they're more fucked up than he is, and he's just like, nope, I gotta get out.
That'd be me. That'd be him jumping into mine.
It's me. He jumps in and there's just Gary Busey.
No God.
And then for whatever reason, Rick Moranis in an underground basement, just chained up with like a sex doll.
No, I would never do that to Rick.
I don't know why, but the way you just said that made me like even more suspicious. But I would never.
I would never do that. It's the new microphone.
Have you guys ever seen Pulp Fiction?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna. He's
Rick Moranis. Rick Moranis is his gimp. He brings him in.
No.
Like, get in the gimp.
He's the pawn shop owner.
Yeah, for sure.
I would never.
And he calls over Busey.
Listen, I would do that to a lot of people. Like I would do that to Ryan Reynolds, but I would never do it to Rick Moranis.
Ryan, we're sorry.
I'm not.
We do not support his pawn shop business. For sure.
Yeah. So
God damn. Okay.
Real quick. Let's go ahead and take a moment and tell everybody about our social media.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Where can they find us, Larry?
So if you guys want to find us on social media, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at 3dudes3, where there you can find links to our Discord. You can be a part of our soup kitchen and hang out with us. And if you are feeling generous and want to support us, there are links to our Patreon. We got some really cool stuff. Caleb shaking boobies. Man fur. And they're
that's somebody's something.
Yeah,
that's somebody's something right
that's
there.
definitely some Patreon footage right there.
It's awakening something in Larry.
Yeah. Oh, it's already awake.
He's thinking more and more about his pawn shop.
Hashtag awake the snake.
Yep, that's it. And on our Patreon, you can find Awake the Snake and just some cool 3 Dudes merchandise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to make that a t-shirt and put it on there.
Awake
the snake.
Get ready to awake the
Don't
snake
say it like
with
that.
3 fat dudes in the morning.
Just, hey guys, awake the snake. I know you were yawning, Brian. I'm sorry.
I'm so tired.
Oh, awake the snake.
Baby goat in the background.
Baby goes burr.
Jeez, y'all really can't hear him?
Yeah, for sure.
So my oldest son has decided he hates bedtime.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening.
You're finally getting to that stage. That's beautiful.
Sleep progression is definitely a thing.
It doesn't go away, so get used to it. Get over it.
Do I look like a pig? Do I look like a pig to you guys?
A little bit. But I invested in animal tranquilizers. Takes them out.
You see here,
Or child
wild-
melatonin.
the wild thornberry needs a good drink every now and again for bedtimes. Because sometimes Goodnight Moon just doesn't work.
I read my daughter Go the Fuck to Sleep all the time. It's my favorite book. I'm going to be fucked if she ever starts repeating it.
She's remembering it now.
Yeah, she's going to be at daycare and just go the fuck to sleep.
Telling the other kids, oh, go the fuck to sleep.
Aw, cute little thing. Go to fuck to sleep.
So, what are we doing today, Larry?
What are we doing?
What's the
today,
point?
Brian,
What is the point?
I have a question for you. And I want to know how you secure, contain, and protect.
How do you secure, contain, and protect? Well, first, you wake up and you don't know where you are. You're in a blank, empty room.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck did I get here? I don't even remember who I am. So you stumble out and you see a bunch of people in suits, black suits, black tie, nice shoes. They're everywhere. And they don't seem to see you for a minute. You're slinking around. You're seeing all sorts of crazy stuff. You look in a cage, some sort of thing with tentacles. Oh god. You see something else. It's like a big blob. And it's like eating other things that have been fed to them. Other small rodents just goes over them and they just dissolve in it. And then the grossest thing of all in the next one. 3 fat dudes in a trench coat. Just before they find you and zap your brain again. And back to the room you go.
Ooh.
I'm gonna crap my brain.
You're gonna crank your brain?
Crap.
Crap. That's the effect of the 3-dude SCP is it's known as SCP-3D3.
3D3?
Yep.
3D3. Okay, so I've got a question. So
yes,
you said it there, but is that what SCP means? Is secure, contain, project,
protect? So SCP is an organization that originated on 4chan, I think. I think it was 4chan.
No.
Was it not 4chan?
I don't think it was 4chan. I don't think anything good comes out of 4chan, so.
Maybe it was Reddit. I thought it started on 4chan.
I don't know.
But it's pretty much just a secret organization, the SCP Foundation, that secures, contains, and protects against anomalous items or creatures or, just different things. And the internet has pretty much exploded over this organization. They've got an SCP wiki. There are like TikTok accounts, YouTube accounts, Twitter pages, all that give animations and stories about SCPs. So if you look up a lot of the SCPs, you'll notice a lot of them have the same classification. Like there are hundreds of SCP-001. And the reason that they say that is because there's one person that theorizes that the SCP started classifying differently. So a lot of the stuff that's SCP-001 is the stuff that was before they started their current classifications. So some of these get really weird. I think the weirdest that I found was SCP-1609. And it's mulch. Mulch. Do you know what this mulch does? If
fertilizes.
if you approach it aggressively, it teleports straight into your lungs.
What?
Yeah. So the mulch, if you go towards it with like evil intent towards this mulch, it goes straight into your lungs and you die.
So, okay, I wouldn't classify myself as a delinquent, but I'm also not an angel. But I don't think I've ever been like, fuck that mulch. I hate mulch bad.
That's why you're still alive.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
dumb bitch.
Yeah, Brian's over there.
Brian, are you getting raptured?
Oh my god, that is pretty bright. Let's try to tone it down.
There are SCPs that are doorways.
Doorways.
Yeah.
Into your booty hole.
Yep.
My favorite thing about SCPs is there's a website, and it might even be like the main SCP website, but it's like they have a camera on at all time that like shows a hallway that's like monitoring a hallway that's containing a CSP or a SCP, and like if you watch it long enough, eventually you'll see something like move in it, and it's pretty cool.
So the SCP Foundation has pretty much they've got the council, the O5 Council, which is the immortal leaders of the SCP Foundation.
The turtles.
Yes. And then the O5 Council approves things, and then they've got like different levels of security. At the bottom of the totem pole are D class. So the D class are prisoners that they've acquired, just people of low social status that they've kidnapped. Like most of them are prisoners though, that are on death row.
I went to school in D class.
You don't want to be a part of the D class because
I've been trained how to give
D
class.
They use D class to test these SCPs or maintenance them. So I'm just gonna give the least threatening ones. So SCP-426 is a toaster that can only be referred to in the first person. So anytime anyone's talking about this toaster, they start saying like, I do this. So they put their place in the toaster, or they put their point of view in the toaster. Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Like every time you toast it or talk about it, you talk about like you're the toaster.
Yeah.
So really I was toasting. I was getting some bread real hot. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so that guy can butter it up.
I mean, sorta. Like because you don't realize you don't realize it. It's whenever you're holding it, you just talk like you're a toaster. You talk about toast things.
Oh man!
And you don't realize it.
Sometimes I get real warm on the inside. It feels like there's two slots on inside me that are just getting real filled with warmth, and I just can't wait for a Pop-Tart or a waffle or bread to get right up inside me.
Butter me up, baby.
Oh baby.
No, I don't want butter in me, but I want butter to go on the things that leave me. You know what I'm saying?
That's a weird thing to say. I want butter to go on the things that leave me.
I want to shit out excellence and be like, butter that up.
They do have an SCP that is a vending machine that gives you like snacks from other dimensions.
Oh, nice. S69. Star Spangled Fuck Yous.
Star Spangled Fuck Yous. I would eat those.
That sounds pretty good. I'm going to start a company called Star Spangled and Fuck You. And it's going to be, you get a gun with every bag of chips.
All right.
And it's going to be called Leave Some Second Amendment for the Rest of Us.
Leave some flavor. America for the rest of us.
Yeah, that's going to be the flavor of it.
They also have a coffee machine that gives you any liquid that you desire. So if you're like, I want liquid people, it gives you like flesh in liquid form
I mean,
or semen.
If only Jeffrey Dahmer was still alive to see this.
So
I think like you could give him some liquid people.
in his face.
I get it.
Semen.
I get it.
But they'll
See-
constantly they'll use these SCPs to study the others. So one of their main things, especially for the more dangerous ones, they will they'll get a lot of times they'll get like acid from the vending or the coffee machine. But
Like
there's
the lizard.
yeah
There's an undying lizard that they constantly have to like pour acid on,
yeah
so it
Why?
doesn't escape. So because it's constantly regrowing, it's just an undying lizard.
they can't
person
stop
thing.
it. They can't kill it.
So they have
They've-
to constantly like immobilize it.
Yeah.
So,
Um.
but like, it's just a lizard.
Yeah,
It's just a
like
lizard person evil thing.
it's like a Komodo dragon kind of thing.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
But it's
like,
it's
does it keep growing in size or like
it's just an
Godzilla?
unstoppable
just-
fucking killing machine that cannot die.
but
It's
they did try. I remember that one, and they did try mixing that with SCP-173, which is the statue that's pretty much a weeping angel.
Sculpture. It's the
Yeah.
thing that started the whole shebang. It's
Yes.
the very first story.
It's like this creepy sculpture that can only move when it's not in a line of sight.
We can't describe what we're thinking of because Caleb's never watched fucking Doctor Who.
It's a weeping angel.
It's a weeping angel. Caleb, again, since you haven't.
Doctor Who?
Exactly.
Shut up. So there's this thing called a weeping angel, and it's sort of the same thing because it's the sculpture. So pretty much, they have to be observed at all times.
If you blink
If they're
for a
not
second,
observed, so if you blink or look away, or if there's like a video communication, like if something is videotaping it, if somebody's not watching the live feed, then it can move at that point, and it's again an unstoppable killing machine that will like destroy people, and it's super fast.
Okay, so there is a short story or a short film that our buddy Justin sent me, and it kind of gives me feels of that. It's called Other Side of the Box, and it's on YouTube if you want to find it.
I'm gonna look that up.
You will have to. So basically, this guy's friend pops up in the house, and he's got this box that's wrapped up like a present. I guess the guy's birthday was the week before, so it was him just wishing him happy birthday. So he takes the box and he gives it to his friend, and he says, "This is for you. Don't take your eyes off of it." And he opens the box, and he just looks at it, and when he's looking inside of it, it's this like endless void. Like he reaches his arm in, he can't get to the bottom of it, and he's like, well, this is weird. Like, how did he even get this to happen? Like, what's going on? But so he leaves the room for just a second, and then all of a sudden, two eyes attached to a head are just poking out of the top of it, and it's not moving, but just staring at him. And then so they find out that and I won't this is within the first 2 minutes, but so I won't ruin anything, but they find out that if he takes his eyes off of it, then
this steals him.
This being continues to move, but he can't move if something is watching him or someone is watching him, particularly the guy. Yeah.
It's really weird.
So,
yeah, so that's a CSP. So
yeah, that's definitely a CSP.
For sure.
But there's some of them that are kind of sad. Like there's CSP 734, which is the baby, and this baby can never be touched. So anybody that has any interactions with this baby has to be in a hazmat suit. If you come into contact with the baby's skin, the like any bodily fluids, you just melt.
Does the baby grow older?
Yeah. The baby's completely human aside from that anomalous effect that it has on people, and people tend to want to nurture this baby. So
So like they're compelled to.
Yeah, like they just want to be motherly. So a lot of SCP agents have removed their hazmats because they felt bad for them, and next thing you know, their arm falls off. But the SCP Foundation is going to use that baby when he grows up to be an agent. But there's one, the Butler's bell. I don't remember what SCP that is, but you ring it, and a butler appears out of nowhere and will do anything you ask within reason. Like, you can't be like, make my dick larger.
Butler sucked me off.
He will do that.
Butler, go steal diamonds for me.
Depends on where. Like if it's like, go get diamonds from this secured vault that can never be broken into, he's not gonna do it. But if it's like, hey, just give me a diamond, he might disappear and come back with one. Yeah, because a guy did say, steal me a car or give me this car, and the butler's like, sorry, can't do it.
So it's there's actually the anime called Black Butler. That's sort of like that. He's like a demon that the housekeeper made a pact with to do whatever the fuck he wants, and so the Black Butler does that.
All right.
I want to say my sister-in-law has watched Black Butler. She says she likes it.
It's pretty cool. Sam watched it. It's pretty cool. Here's a story though of two interacting called the Polaroid. or SCP-978.
Camera that shows you your inner desires.
Right. So it's a camera that takes a picture, and when they take a picture of you, it doesn't show. It shows that, I guess.
Doesn't show Caleb.
So it shows what you most desire, not like where you are, but like when you take the picture of, like, say it would show you doing the thing that you most desire, you like having the thing you most desire. Yeah. But it's pretty cool because like they're so they made it interact with SCP-516, which is a sentient tank that wants nothing more than world peace. So like,
I love that one. I haven't seen that one.
Whenever they take a picture of it, it just shows that it as a tank is like all like rusted over and like completely dilapidated and no longer has a use because it's no longer like fighting for world peace because world peace has happened. So he like no longer exists because the world has come to peace.
That's beautiful.
So there is an anime that is called what is it called? No Gun something. And it's basically this gun head. This man was fixed with a gun for a head, and he doesn't like to use the gun because it kills. It's designed to kill, and he doesn't want to kill. He just wants peace. So that's basically the same thing.
Weird.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
But there's one SCP-4885 that's Waldo. And
where is he?
You don't want to know where he is, because once you know where Waldo is, Waldo automatically knows where you are, and he will continue to know your location until you die. And
why does that bother me?
Because Waldo's coming for you. If you find Waldo, he's coming for you.
Wait, so that's it? Like, he will hunt you?
Yeah, he'll hunt you down. As soon as you know where he is, he automatically knows where you are. Yeah. And that kind of goes with another one of the most popular ones is Shy Guy. Do you know what I'm talking about, Brian?
Like from Mario?
It's not from Mario. They call him Shy Guy. So it's a humanoid with very long arms. Most of the time he's seen kind of just hunched over, a lot of times crying, kind of like the witch from Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead?
Yeah. So if you see Shy Guy, Shy Guy will hunt you down and kill you.
Oh yeah, Shy Guy's like exactly. He's like the witch, but like think Slender Man
Yeah,
version of the witch.
Slenderman Witch.
Yep.
And
Slender Witch.
he will go to further lengths to, like, if you see a picture of him, you automatically he knows you've seen it and he goes and kills you.
So
Hey.
he's the Grudge.
Kinda.
Sorta. So here's one, Caleb. Go in your browser and go SCP-106.
SCP
I'm curious about that.
106.
Yeah.
Did I mean SCP-106? Yeah, that's what I said.
Go into his page. There should be a photo of him.
Yeah. Oh, do I have to click the photo?
Are you gonna say it's me?
Probably. It's Larry.
Fuck you.
Well, it is. So it is the old man, but it's not Larry.
Yeah, it looks like one of the like irradiated ghouls from Fallout 4.
Kinda. So what his deal is he pulls people into a pocket dimension with him, and anybody that he touches, like, starts to deteriorate. And so he
Hmm.
like finds people in agonizing pain and like drags them up. That's how they at the CSP contain him, is they cause terrible pain to like death row inmates that lure him, and then he drags them off into his pocket dimension just to get him like out of the world.
Okay. That's
Because
odd.
like you can't capture something that can disappear into a pocket dimension, so you
Yeah.
have to find other ways to like get him out of the world.
It's terrifying.
Okay. So he's kind of like I don't know, like Nightcrawler Ghost Rider. He's able to pop into another dimension like Nightcrawler, but they're giving him bad guys to do that too.
They're
I mean,
giving.
objectively, like they're on death row.
So I think so. You mentioned that, and I've been thinking about it. How cool would it be on death row and working at like a science place? I mean, like inevitably you're gonna die, but like you're gonna see some cool shit before you do. Like that's awesome, right?
No. Because it's gonna be it's like extreme pain. Let's see.
I mean, by whose standard?
I mean, if it's by the SCP standard, they do extreme testing. So if it's unimaginable pain, I mean, it's not like it's something up your butt. It's like something up your butt and then prying it open until you're ripped in half.
New fetish.
New fetish unlocked.
Oh,
Awake the snake.
this is one of my favorite ones. I'm pretty sure it's called the Scarlet King.
What's the
Oh.
SCP on it?
Is that the Scarlet King's the one where the more people that know about him, the stronger he gets, right?
So he's like the elder evil god of the CSP world.
What's the CSP on him? What's the number?
Let's see if I can pull. I remember reading like a long like thing about him.
He is SCP-2317.
Yeah, he is the creation of swirling anomalies of so many different times all over the world. He's a memory of a world that is lost, pre-modern world, a manifestation in a form of hatred and modernity. The new, the humanist, the smiling coldest that makes our day today existence. So it's kind of like a whole like poem about him, but he's pretty much like the antagonist of the Foundation itself.
Yeah.
There is not a photo of him.
Ancient
there are
and
photos.
demonic god who appears in many articles and tales, often tied to the end of existence itself, is one of the many CSPs proposed for CSP-001.
Okay, I see now. It's this weird
so
antler-looking demon.
the more people that know about him, the stronger he gets, and the more he can control. Like it starts out, he can, if he's infected so many people, then he can control one person for an hour. But as he gets stronger, it's like more people for longer amounts of time, until eventually he breaks through to our dimension and destroys everything.
So is the knowledge of him the infection?
Yes. So you just have to know he exists.
Well, I'm contributing to the cause.
The SCP will use amnesic properties of different SCPs to stop it.
So all I'm seeing is like so many similarities to like other culture-based things. So like for me, that's Cthulhu.
Yeah,
so that's
Cthulhu is I think he's a Keter class, isn't he?
Yeah, so there's class. So let's go over that. That's could be a good thing to sort of like head everything up. So CSP classes.
I like the sound of that. You can head everything up, if you know what I'm saying.
So
down, if you know what I'm saying.
There's class safe. Class safe are anomalies who are easily and safely contained. This is often due to the fact that the Foundation has researched the CSPs well enough that containment does not require significant resources, or that anomalies require specific conscious activation or trigger. Classification of safe, however, does not mean that handling or activating it does not pose a threat. So it's just easy to contain.
The toaster's marked safe, yeah.
Okay, then there's Euclid. Euclids are anomalies that require more resources to contain completely, or where containment isn't always reliable. Usually this is because CSPs is inefficiently understood, sentient, or inherently unpredictable. Euclid is the object class with the greatest scope. It's usually a safe bet that a CSP will be this class if it doesn't easily fall into one of the other object classes. Also, most CSPs generally fall into this class because they're unknown, because, you know, the organization is based off of crazy shit. So if they don't know how to contain it, it's a Euclid.
So it's like the old man, the statue, the shy guy, the baby.
Gotcha.
And then there's Keter class, which would be things like the Scarlet. Well, I think Cthulhu.
Gods.
God is actually one of the SCPs, like our version of God. Yeah, he doesn't. He's willingly goes into an SCP foundation or like an SCP stronghold, and he stays there of his own free will. And then he invites people in. All these people just stop by, talk to God, and they leave happy. Like he makes the SCP a little bit better. They hate him.
So the thing about that is he is supposed to be this form that no human or mortal can see.
I mean, it's just an older man with a beard.
He's a liar then.
Class Keter, going back to it, is anomalies that are exceedingly difficult to contain.
Like my dick.
Consistently or reliably, with containment procedures often being extensive and complex. Foundation can't often contain these CSPs well due to not having a solid understanding of the anomaly or lacking the technology to properly contain or counter it. It doesn't mean that it's dangerous. It's just very difficult or costly to contain.
So God is a Keter class.
And then there's two more above it. Then there's class Thaumiel, are anomalies that the Foundation uses to contain or counteract other CSPs or anomalies. So they're CSPs that they use specifically to counteract other CSPs.
Like
even the mere existence of a Thaumiel class object is classified at the highest level of the Foundation, and their locations, functions, and current statuses are known to few personnel outside of the Council, which is like the ruling people.
Yeah.
Of the CSP Foundation.
Okay. So
And
Why
then the
doesn't
final
just
one.
like God take over then?
Then the
Isn't he
final
God?
one, Apollyon, used for CSPs that are impossible to contain. They are about to irrevocably break containment. CSP of this class will inevitably end the world. The classification was first used on CSP-927 on the Edithis wiki in 2008. It essentially meant that the CSP was a particularly dangerous Keter. The original iteration of the Apollyon class did not appear in any additional CSPs and was ultimately removed from CSP 927 by September. Class did not appear again in 2014 when it was used for CSP 2317 Dr. Clef. The author of 2317 did not intend for this classification. Uh, So pretty much it just goes back and forth about a bunch of shit. But pretty much the Apollyon is so powerful, like the Scarlet King, or there's a few others. There's like a huge like monster that lives in the sea that all they can really do is track it,
Yeah.
and it'll at some point destroy the world. But it's like so fucking big that all they can do is just track it
They're just like,
because
well,
Nessie.
it's
impossible to
there.
contain.
Nessie.
I think Nessie is a Euclid class.
What you call Nessie?
Euclid?
You're an invalid. I mean,
You're
Euclid.
a Euclid.
No.
But in the event that everything is destroyed, the SCP will either move dimensions, so just hop from Earth to Earth. They're like, okay, fuck this, we fucked up, we're out. Or there is a secret organization under Yellowstone that is, in the event of an apocalyptic future, it stores all of the information, all of the DNA of people. So when the SCP goes down, like when the world goes down, this computer waits for the next person in charge. So it keeps track of who's alive and who's dead. So if all the SCP Foundation, like all humans are dead, and a random squirrel walks in, it's going to be like, okay, we're going to start up. And then it just starts cloning everybody to rebuild civilization.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have no idea how many times this has happened.
Yeah.
So all they know is, like, it may have happened before, but they don't know. They don't know who built the facility.
So all this to say is it's a fun rabbit hole to go down.
It is.
It's like the game that I was playing there for a while. Fuck.
I
What's
had the
it called?
pickle.
Yep.
But
I
they
can't think of it. It's about the chick with like the crazy gun that can
Control.
like morph. Control, yeah. So Control or like Men in Black or fucking pretty much those types of things. Those
Or
ideas,
fucking.
yeah.
those
Well, they
those
have a
sorts of
they have a game called The Store is Closed, and it's based off of SCP-3008, which is an infinite IKEA. So this store just goes on forever and ever. And they've created they're making a video game called The Store is Closed.
Yeah, there's been a few video games about SCPs, just like fan made games, but it's interesting to do because there's so like there's so much variety that you can pretty much make whatever game you want.
Yeah.
Usually horror, but
SCPs, I don't know. I think it was you, Brian, that introduced me to them. And
I don't know. I think I first found them on No Sleep because I love shit on No Sleep.
But I've been like diving into that rabbit hole pretty deep, especially at work since I don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, they're fun to read.
No, it's a terrible rabbit hole.
So
there's one that's called Milk Jesus.
Milk Jesus? What's Milk Jesus do?
Well, let's see. Hang on, dude. These things are too much to read for like a quick episode.
yeah, for sure. This is just sort of an introduction to the whole world. There's like And plus, the whole point of them is they're like redacted a lot of the times
Yeah.
too. So you gotta like sort of read in between the lines of their stories because it'll be like they got introduced with redacted, blah 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 redacted. So they're like they feel more realistic and feel like some sort of governing body is over them.
I mean, it's possible that they are real.
Dun dun dun
That come.
dun dun dun.
Come.
But yeah, what's your thoughts over this, Caleb?
So, I mean, it's interesting. I've never heard of this before. I definitely have my interest peaked now, especially because I just found a weird goat doll that talks to you telepathically for one
Mhm.
of them. So, and it looks like there's a huge pool of already created stuff. So,
Mhm.
Oh, there's so much, dude, and people just contribute shit every day to
yeah, I
it.
saw that it was like user curated, like a whole
Yeah,
section for it.
I think we should make me a an SCP file.
for sure. I mean, you're the old man, so
No, I'm something different.
The
I'm
the Rickler Tickler,
The
Rick
Rick,
Rick,
Moranis.
the
Rick
Rickler
Moranis.
he only exists at times that Rick Moranis is here. Once Rick
Every
Moranis is
time,
gone,
And he always makes punny phrases like Rick Moranis gonna get this hand us, if you know what I'm saying.
Rick
every
Moranis gonna
time
get
Rick
this dick.
Moranis is reincarnated, Larry immediately appears in the world fully grown
Yeah,
and
that's it.
integrated into the world.
That's it. I've been alive
See
for as
that
long as Rick
that
has been here.
so you know how like they say history is supposed to repeat itself. The series Futurama kind of sort of really dives into that, and you know what, the episode where they have the time machine and Fry accidentally throws them like 100,000 years in the future or something.
Oh yeah. They go over time travel a lot.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Dude, I should really watch through Futurama. It's been a long time, but basically, uh, uh, Dr. Farnsworth tells him about a theory that if you know that the history or time will repeat itself. So if you give it enough, then you know it'll happen. So basically, he throws that thing in hyper overdrive, and they just see civilization after world crumble and fall, or crumble and rise until he gets back to the year where Leela is alive, because he was supposed to go on a date with Leela. So finally,
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they theorize that the universe is ever expanding, and once it gets to a certain point, it's going to implode on itself, creating a second Big Bang, which will set everything back in motion again. So yeah, history will repeat itself. And I
yeah,
will be there waiting for Rick.
I will be here, Rick.
Waiting
I will
for
be
you.
here, Rick.
But no.
Don't you lose
Um,
that dick.
so if anybody listening to this podcast wants to talk about SCPs, it's slowly becoming a very serious hobby of mine. Like, I'll just listen to SCP stuff all day. Um, and let us know what you think, or let us know what your favorite SCP is.
Mine's the ICP.
The ICP SCP.
Yeah.
I think mine's the Tickle Monster, maybe.
I'm sorry. There is a thing called the Tickle Monster.
Yeah, there's a Tickle Monster.
What? Okay, before we go, I need to
It's
know what's the Tickle Monster.
it's just this little blob that's super friendly. It can't be destroyed, and it just likes to tickle people. It makes them happy.
so, so it's like Ditto,
Kinda. Yeah.
I guess, without the transformation.
well, that's just my screensaver. There we go. But yeah,
Oh,
I think that they're awesome. There's a lot of really creepy fucking ones, a
Yeah.
lot of really badly written ones, but once you get to like the most popular ones, they're pretty well written. So
gotcha.
I would suggest everybody check into it. You can find something cool.
Yeah.
You down with SCP?
You know me.
Magnets, bitch. That's SCP-147.
What is it?
What is it? Magnets, bitch.
Magnets, bitch. How do they work?
Nobody knows.
You know, for real though, like
Oh,
magnets are like modern day magic. Like what? How did this shit just like
we
how
know
do they work?
we get the concept of how it works. We just don't know why it works.
Yeah. Why does it work?
Yeah. We don't know.
I don't know. That's what I'm
Nobody
gonna dedicate
knows.
the rest of my life to, is finding it out.
Good luck.
Go ahead, Google.
Go ahead, Google.
Google.
So I think that pretty much
Wraps it up.
I guess we fully well covered final thoughts. So,
So guys, until next time.
stay fat.
Right. Keep your trench coats on.
You dick.
We've talked about this so that we don't overtalk each other, Brian. Come on, you answer the question.
Hey!
Cool.
If
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.